Hey guys, Dawson here. So this will be an experiment rebrand sort of thing. Now, all my recap slash news of all 49er things will be known as a series called Drops of Gold due to how these are shorter than regular podcast. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this recap of this Arizona Cardinals loss. If I were to tell you that Jimmy Garoppolo threw for 326 yards with two touchdown passes, and George Kittle came back and had himself a 100-yard game with a touchdown, and also the Cardinals did not have Kyler Murray or DeAndre Hopkins, you would think the 49ers would have won, right? Well, you would be wrong. The 49ers lost 17-31 to the Arizona Cardinals and are now 3-5 on the season, and somehow they are still in the wild card race. But honestly, I don't want this team to even be in the playoffs with the way they played this game, right? They had the best situation to get a division win this game, right? No Kyler Murray or DeAndre Hopkins, no JJ Watt. Their starting running back got out the first two snap after like the first or second snap of the game, right? Yet they let this team, this 49ers defense slash team, let 35-year-old Colt McCoy carve up their defense. Like, don't get me wrong, this offense didn't pull up this team. They had their own problems. Their first four drives were a mix of punts and fumbling. This was just a complete team loss. Every unit had their problems. Well, besides for special teams, that is. Good punting, Mitch. And good field goal, Robbie Gold. But anyway, let's talk about this game, shall we? So let's talk about the defense, right? That was the thing I was watching the most of, right? Because it just made me angry watching this defense, right? Because everything the first time this defense played the Cardinals, mind you, it was a healthy Cardinals team. They they only allowed them to score 17 points, and the Cardinals team was averaging around 30 points, right? This was an entirely different performance. I know this 49ers defense has suffered injuries, but every team has an injury problem right now, all right? Like, this performance was there, it was so much sloppy play, right? They allow Colt McCoy, right, 35-year-old, so far away from his Texas college football days, right, to have 80% completion. And they made James Conner look like name any Hall of Fame running back. All right, that's how good his performance was. Like, here's the thing: I can say that Fred Warner has disappeared, right? That is a true statement, right? Doesn't have that much impact, right? But I can also say this: the D line does him no favors, right? These they can't get double teams worth to flip, right? And the offensive lineman goes up to the second level and gets to Fred Warner, so he can't make the tackles he's used to making, right? Like, when you can't say Javon Kinlaw is a bust when you can clearly see he is missing in this defense, right? They're missing the big guy, right? The big D lineman, right? Like Eric Armstead had to move inside, right? That's how much they don't trust this line, in which at the start of the season was the crown jewel of it, right? Like, this D line will take us to the playoffs, was their, mindset. And it's just failed. And plus, the CBs don't even look like they know how to tackle, right? So, like, they allowed dink and dunk offense, right? Because they knew the moment the cornerback couldn't tackle, they were going to get the yards they need. Dink and dunk offense. I hate it, right? Like, look, if you were to start going in NFL Next Gen stats, right, and looked up Colt McCoy's passing chart, right, Everything was by the line, right? This was the thing we were arguing about with Jimmy Garoppolo. All his passes, we used to argue about this with Jimmy Garoppolo, in which his offense was basically just yak. Well, this was a yak attack from the Arizona Cardinals, and these cornerbacks just lack the fundamentals, right? Like, here's the thing about it. These aren't stars on regular teams, right? But they're veterans, right? What Josh Norman had himself a fantastic year, was on a Super Bowl team, right? Like, here's the thing. I can sit here and I can blame D'Amico Ryans, right, for this performance, right? He's the guy that Kyle Shanahan put in charge of this defense so Kyle can focus on the offensive performance, right? Like, here's the thing. I have problems. Like, the wide nine he uses, right? He wants to run, right? But with the current state of the defense, it's hard to blame a guy who who's doing his best with what he has, unless he outright thought Kyler Murray was playing this game, and I do not see that as his thought process. Also, final note: I know for some reason Kyle Shanahan for this season doesn't want to play rookies, right? I don't know why. Debo played his rookie year. Javon Kinlaw played his rookie year. Brandon Ayuk played his rookie year, right? I think Solomon Thomas played his rookie year, right? Reuben Foster played rookie, all that, right? Just for some reason this year he doesn't want to play him, right? But here's the thing about not releasing Josh Norman, who currently has fractured ribs, right? After what he did made no sense to me whatsoever. He kept the drive going because he couldn't shut up, right? And then proceeded to argue with other 49ers teammates, right? It's just insane that he's still on this team. But anyway, I think I spoke as much as I want on this defense, right? Let's talk offense. So it's hard to get a read on offense on this offense to this game, right? They were on the field for only 23 minutes, right? But it's just was a weird game. Like after what happened in the Bears game, I would expect more of a run game approach, right? Especially early when the game was still in a winnable order. You could tie the game or get into one score, right? Just to give this defense a breather, right? But Elijah Mitchell only had 8 carries this entire game, and they decided once again to rely on the arm of Jimmy Garoppolo, which no problem. He kept his consistency from the Bears game, though he wasn't as mobile and did make a few dumb throws, and has shown he makes the shorter pass more often than the longer one. Right? Like I'm done being mad at Jimmy Garoppolo. He didn't put himself in the situation to start, right? But here's the thing about it: you had this offense had 2 fumbles in the first 4 drives. One was by Brandon Ayuk and one by George Kittle. Both were trying to make plays. I understand that. So the fumbles aren't as bad, and plus they did man up and get touchdowns later on in the game. But those 2 fumbles allowed the Cardinals to score 10 points. So why exactly go away from the run game, right? When at the start of this game there was a clear problem that these pass catchers were having problems with drops and fumbles, right? Like later in the game, I understand why he had to throw it a lot. Late in game, trying to score as much as possible, right? Simple as that, right? Score as fast as possible. But early in the game, it just made no sense to escape the run game. Also, sadly, Mike McGlinchey is out for the season, tore his quad, has a 50% chance of ever playing again in the NFL. That is sad, honestly. He was having one of his best years ever. Like, here's the thing about it. Tom Compton came in and gave up 2 sacks. Mike McGlinchey, who has played all the way up to this game, the sacks he allowed was only 2. Like if you were to tell me Trey Lance was playing because Mike McGlinchey was, you know, wasn't healthy, right? And you may need a more mobile guy knowing your right tackle, right guard situation is in jeopardy, then I will understand that, all right? Now, because Tom Compton ain't it. Brunskill may actually move to right tackle, and we may actually see Aaron Banks for the first time this season. Or we may see an appearance of Jalen Moore, right? Basically, about you give him 1 week of right tackle practice, and you expect him to move over there. It may take 2 weeks to see Jalen Moore at right tackle, but I could see Aaron Banks actually making his debut. Kyle Shanahan himself even said Banks had his best 2 weeks of practice, at, which was actually interesting that was the first time he spoke of Aaron Banks in a while. But that's pretty much all I have for the offense. Besides, it was fun to see Kittle and Ayuk be used more in this offense, right? Kittle just came back. Ayuk has finally, stepped up, got better at practice. That Kyle and Mike McDaniel liked, right? A good way to describe this team, right now, is that one hole gets patched, right? Being Jimmy Garoppolo's consistency, right? But you get holes elsewhere, like McGlinchey needing surgery to whatever is happening with the defense, right? I know everything points to Kyle for his problems, and and people say he should be fired, right? I don't believe he should be fired, right? Like here's the thing, let me rephrase it. I do believe everything does point to Kyle as to what's going on with this team, but I do not believe he should be fired, right? I just like here's the thing about it. He's suffering from burnout, right? That's my take. I think he's suffering from a burnout, right? It's affecting the whole team because of it, right? And you see, the only way to fix it is to give more power to more people, right? Like here's an example. 49ers example, right? No, I know you need more context, right? But it's a very simple thing, right? Bill Walsh, 49ers, GOAT, the GOAT coach of the San Francisco 49ers, right? Who every coach who coaches the 49ers has to live up to what he did, right? Once had, full control of team, drafting, preparation, everything, right? But he once lost 3 straight NFC championship games. The owner at the time, Eddie DeBartolo Sr., right? I think, decided to take some of his power away, right? So he can focus on the football and football only. And the team won the Super Bowl. But the question is, will Kyle admit to that? I honestly don't know, but I hope he does because this team needs him to. But that will be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. If you haven't already, subscribe. And if you haven't already, you can just follow me on Twitter. Yeah, to get updates on videos and also see my takes there, right? But until then, see you guys later.